another example. Listen to me very carefully. I was of the impression that people who attend the training session, keeping the camera on, they can learn better. How many of you agree with me on this? How many of you agree with me on this? Okay, maybe all of you. But can you see many people don't even know, they don't keep the camera on? That means they are not believing in it. This is the kind of scenario where you have to perform hypothesis testing. There are people who are not willing to accept your claim, even though with all with all your experience, with all your the time with the process, you realize that people who attend the session with the camera on, they can interact better, they can learn better. But then still we see half of our participants are not on the camera. And now we have to prove them. How can we prove? Let us conduct one session with the half of the participants, 10, 15 people on the camera, another 15 people off the camera. And then let's give them, a kind of test. People on the camera, we are giving them a test. And people off the camera, we are giving the same test. Because it's the same lesson taken. If there is no difference in the marks, then people off the camera, they are correct. Isn't
Null
it?
hypothesis.
They are correct. That means, you are not able to reject the null hypothesis. You are not able to prove that they are wrong. All right. This is called rejecting null hypothesis. Suppose if all the people, the batch of people who are on the camera, if they have performed or they have scored with marks higher than the people off the camera, then our doubt is correct, isn't it? That's the time we will say that, hey guys, you're all wrong. So you have wasted so many years so far. You have attended so many training programs, spent so many lakhs, but then you wasted your money. Because there is a standing evidence, isn't it? I performed experiment not just with 1%, not just with 1% or 2%, 15% on the camera, and another 15% off the camera. All 15 off the camera, they scored less mark. Of all 15 on the camera, they scored no good mark. That means the average of the people on the camera is much higher than average mark scored by the people off the camera. Do you understand? So it is very, very evident, experimentally evident, that their belief is wrong. What is their belief? There won't be any difference whether you attend the session on the camera or off the camera. This is a null hypothesis. Saying that there is no difference is null. So null gets rejected here. That means you proceed with your alternate. Clear?
Yes.
Please note, there are two types of statement exist. One is null, the other one is alternate. Once the null is rejected, now you have a choice to further investigate on the alternate, or you accept the alternate without further investigation. That is your choice. But this is how you have to statistically progress. First you reject the null, then only you talk about the alternate. Right?
Sir, one question.
Yes.
If you reject null, if we reject null hypothesis, it means we accept alternate, not like that. No?
If we reject the null hypothesis, it simply means we are rejecting null hypothesis. That's all.
No,
And
it
accepting
means we
alternate
are
is up to
accepting
you.
the alternate, right?
See,
Or not accept.
you have a friend. He may be a good friend, or he may be a bad friend. Yes or no? So, what is your null hypothesis here? If you have you maintain a long-term friendship with someone from your school days, and your belief is he is a very nice friend, good friend. Yes or no? So suddenly you perform an experiment with him. Maybe last 3 months or so, he borrowed some money from you, and then he did not return it properly. Now, what will you say about your friend? Will you say he is a culprit, or will you say he is not good?
We will have that doubt.
Similar situation, right? You can either conclude he is a culprit, or you can say he is not good with you during the last 3 months, which is true actually. Is he a culprit? He is doing similar thing with everyone. There can be some other reason also for him not returning the money. Yes or no? It's not that he,
Based on the
it's not that he is
situation.
trying to cheat you.
Based on the
There
situation.
is a possibility he might have some other issues because of which he has to behave in such a manner during your the 3 months period. But you are also right, because you gave the money 3 times, all 3 times he did not return. Experimentally, for your conclusion is he is not good as per the experiment. But don't go to the extent of declaring that he is a culprit. Don't go to the extent of concluding that he will behave in the same manner with everyone. That you don't have the rights as per your experiment. You have studied only for a particular period. According to your period, he is not good. It doesn't mean that he will be bad with everyone. No. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, strictly speaking, rejecting null hypothesis simply means you reject the null hypothesis. That's all.
Again, alternate hypothesis, we need to see the data and experiment whether you can accept or reject. Correct?
Let's say 4th time your friend is asking money. Will you give the money?
No.
So that is your choice. But
Okay.
still you don't have rights to declare anything to outside world, isn't it?
Okay. That should
You
also
don't
be
declare, but
experimentally proven.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you can take it. You have all rights to take a proper decision for to safeguard you. You take a proper decision, but still you cannot declare anything. But you can definitely say null is rejected.
Null is rejected. Okay, understood.
But let me give another example. Let us say your company is manufacturing a product. Let's say some kind of metallic product. So metal plate. The surface finish is very important. The surface finish is very important. And now your people are telling that, sir, cutting too long angle keeps on changing. We set the cutting tool angle at a particular angle only, but then during the machining, what happens? The tool angle automatically changes. As a result, surface finish gets, becomes poor. This is the doubt now. Now, what is our what is our output variable? Surface finish.
Surface finishing.
What is our input variable?
Cutting angle.
Cutting tool angle or whatever. Now, X is there and Y is there. Now, what is your null hypothesis? If the cutting tool angle changes by a small margin, it will not make any difference in the surface finish. That is the belief. Yes or no? If cutting tool angle changes by a smaller margin, it will not affect the surface finish. That is the belief. That is why they are allowing the cutting tool angle to change during the machining. Yes or no? So cutting tool angle is not critical to surface finish. What is the statement? Cutting tool angle.
Null hypothesis. Null hypothesis.
Null hypothesis. Cutting tool angle is not critical. That means whatever be the cutting tool angle, surface finish will be same. But now you have to refer to the data to check whether the null is correct or not. If null is correct, you should not worry about cutting tool angle. You leave it. But if null is found to be wrong, then your understanding is wrong. You must first accept that your understanding is wrong. Yes or no? All that the current status quo has become wrong. That you must accept first. Then you make the necessary changes. Now, how can we perform the analysis? Now, produce 10 parts. Now, cutting tool angle, you need to understand the range of variation. Cutting tool angle, the record angle is 12 degree. But during the operation, plus or minus 0.5 is possible. So what is the lowest cutting tool angle value? 11.5. Max highest is 12.5.
12.5.
And the exact record value is 12. So now you produce 10 samples, keeping the cutting tool angle 11.5. How many samples? 10 samples. Can you measure the surface finish? We can measure, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes, we can.
yes.
Then from 11.5, change the cutting tool angle to 12. Again produce 10 parts. Again measure surface finish. Then go to 12.5. Again measure, surface finish. You keep on changing the cutting tool angle from 11.5 to 12 and then 12 to 12.5. And are you able to notice a change in the surface finish? You understand? If you notice a change in the surface finish, if the change is visible, it confirms that cutting tool angle, it confirms that the cutting tool angle is critical to
Surface finish.
Surface finish. Surface finish.
But if there is no much change, it confirms that cutting tool angle is not critical to surface finish. If it is, if cutting tool angle, if it is not critical to surface finish, it simply means you fail to reject the null hypothesis. Do you understand? So whatever people say, you just have to find out what data is saying. Yes or no? Whatever people are saying, if the same thing is observed in the data also, then the opinion is validated. You understand? And in hypothesis testing, there are only two decisions possible. One is reject the null. Another one is fail to reject the null. That's all. But what to do, you have to decide. Isn't
Fail
it?
to reject null means you are accepting null hypothesis.
Yes. See,
Then
why
we
are
don't
we
have
carefully saying fail to reject the null?
So we accept
Because
it.
I performed only 10 experiments.
Oh.
I know there are limitations in my study. I don't know if again, another person performs similar experiment. There is some chance he can differ from my finding. Yes or no? So I make a careful statement. Fail to reject the null. I am not able to prove that he is wrong. That means I go along with him. Yes or no?
Yes.
But this is how you have to statistically speak.
Okay.
But your suggestion is very correct. That's how people proceed actually. Fail to reject the null means you accept the null. Okay. Another possibility is you reject the null. Either you fail to reject the null. Another possibility is you reject the null. Again, you will come and say, sir, rejecting the null means I accept the alternate. But as a statistician, I will not make that statement.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, understood.
Logically
We cannot
correct also,
conclude
isn't it?
that. See, basic is we cannot conclude that without experiment. Again.
Yeah. What is stopping you from performing further experiment?
Yeah, right.
You perform and see and get yourself satisfied. But if it is a costlier affair, or you have some limitation, you can't keep on conducting the experiment, then you better you take the decision there itself, even without doing any, because you have already rejected the null. That means it's more likely that your alternate is correct. All right. So whether a person is innocent or culprit, we always believe that everyone, all the people around us are good. Yes or no?
Yes.
So we always, the null hypothesis is people are innocent. But based on your observation, now you can make a conclusion. he is no more innocent is one conclusion, or he is the criminal is another conclusion. Which is safe to declare?
The first
Which
one.
is safe to declare? The first
Is
one
no more innocent.
is no more innocent. This is called, fail to reject the null.
What is
Right.
called, sir? What is called that?
Fail to reject the null.
Fail to reject.
He is no more innocent. Whether he is criminal or no, or yes, whether he is a criminal or not, you just directly deal with him. You come to know whether he is a criminal or not. But according to me, he is no more innocent. Right? This is fail. This is,
Fail to
Yeah.
reject null.
yeah. So, all right. So, in hypothesis testing, we either reject the null or we fail to reject the null. If we have an evidence, then we reject the null. So, rejecting the null means he is no more innocent. But fail to reject the null means, yes, I am not able to prove that he is wrong. That's all. So that means he can be considered innocent. So, but whatever statement you made right now, the doubts you asked, they're all genuine. Everybody will have that doubt. Whenever we reject the null, it simply means alternate will hold good. Whenever we reject the null, it simply means alternate will hold good. But why I suggest you not to declare is maybe some additional experiments can be performed. So this is about hypothesis testing. Don't worry about it. We will deep dive and then bring a complete clarity as we discuss at the next level. But right now, tell me what are the tools you discussed with Mr. Veeraraghavan today as part of the analysis phase?
Brainstorming.
Okay,
YY
brainstorming.
analysis.
Brainstorming, YY
Fishbone.
analysis, fishbone diagram, cause and
Impact
effect.
control matrix.
Very good. So what is your objective in analysis phase?
To identify the root cause.
Identify the root cause and then validate the root cause. And then further understand the relationship between the root cause and your output variable. Because ultimately you want to optimize your output variable. So you have to make changes in your input variable. For that, the relationship needs to be understood. If the relationship is known, you know in which direction the input variable has to be moved. Isn't it? So for that purpose, relationship is required. And finally, you should also be able to check the sufficiency of the factor. You should be able to check the sufficiency of the factor. Sufficiency means how many root causes are currently affecting my result. Is it just one root cause which is pulling my result? Or are there multiple root causes? This is the question. So the answer, you can arrive with a excellent finding if you become familiar with the tool known as design of experiments, hypothesis testing, and then subsequently design of experiment. If you master the tool hypothesis testing, you will be able to validate root causes one by one. You will be able to validate the root causes one by one, which is hypothesis testing. If you also wanted to talk about the sufficiency of the factor, then you must master another tool known as design of experiments. Design of experiments means studying all the factors simultaneously. Instead of studying the factors one by one, you will be studying the factors simultaneously. Because in real life, all the factors can influence your result simultaneously. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
You can't expect one factor to remain idle because all other factors are playing. No. The factors can affect your result anytime. So always the effect will be simultaneous. So DOE can only give a clear picture of sufficiency after DOE. After DOE, you have to form a regression equation, and then based on the regression equation, you will be able to check the sufficiency. So let me clarify this whole idea of analysis phase with a simple example. I always believe in simple examples so that people can easily understand. Imagine there is a big party and all the friends and relatives came and a lot of valuables were kept in a particular room. Valuables worth of 50 lakhs. is kept in a particular room. And suddenly you come to know that the 50 lakhs worth of the items are missing. It's a big trouble, isn't it? All the valuables are missing, found missing. And now you have to investigate and find out the culprit. Tell me, how will you approach this situation now? This is similar to your analysis phase, isn't it? Here you are searching for the root causes. There you are actually, searching for the culprit who actually stolen away this particular, valuables. Tell me, what will you, how will you approach this? What will be your first action?
To check
Sir,
the
is it
camera, CCTV camera.
Okay.
sir,
You
is
become a
it
police
that the
officer.
50 lakhs valuable which has been stolen, are we sure that they are in the same room? Is it that maybe other type of the variables have been stolen down and we are counting it as a 50 lakh variable? Is it sure that they are in the same room? They are those variables, those ornaments which have been there in the room?
So all the suspect cases you wanted to investigate,
Mhm.
isn't it? Yeah. Yes, you're right. To certain extent, you can refer to the video camera. That means, you become a police officer and then start doing all the investigation. But then the people around are your own friends and relatives. Very embarrassing situation, isn't it? So in that case, what normally people do is they will inform the police. Yes or no? Because they are the specialist in conducting such kind of investigation. But prior to informing to the police, you make sure nobody escapes from the room. Am I right?
Yes.
So you close the doors, lock it properly. This is your first step in analysis phase. This is what you are doing with the brainstorming and YY analysis and the fishbone analysis. You make sure the room is locked. Nobody should be allowed to escape. Your fishbone diagram should necessarily carry the culprit in it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, let us say there are 200 people in the hall. You now write down the name of all 200 people. And you draw a fishbone diagram now. Some of them are, put under the friends column. There is a friends category. Some people are, under the category of friends. Some people are under the category of close relatives. Some people are under the category, like neighbors. Now you have a beautiful fishbone diagram. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But now if you allow somebody to escape, you are allowing the culprit to escape. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Now it is very important you write down all 200 names while creating a fishbone diagram. Are you doing it while drawing a fishbone diagram right now? It's not that easy, isn't it? Writing down the name of 200 people, yes, you can go and then ask their Aadhaar card or something and then you can write down. But in your process, there are 200, let's say there are 25 input variables. First ask yourself, do you know the name of all the 25 input variables?
It's difficult.
Question logical, isn't it? If you are making a product and all the ingredients that goes into the product, you should be familiar with. The ingredients are nothing but the input. Any of the input could have been the culprit. We don't know. So in fishbone diagram, the idea is to list all possible X factor. All possible X factor. The first step is listing the possible causes. Do you understand? Listing the possible causes. And now you locked the door and you listed the possible causes. How many people? 200 people. 200 names are there. Now the specialists are coming. Police people are coming. And now either they have to take all 200 people to the police station, keep them in their custody and then investigate, or they have to take only the suspect cases. What they will do, you think?
Only the suspect.
Yeah, because they don't have space to accommodate all 200 people, 500 people in the police station. It's not, another marriage hall. It's a small office. So they can take, 5 to 10 people, nothing more than that. So like all that you said, they will refer to the CCTV camera. They will interact with all the maybe few people and just check who are all given access to that particular room, isn't it? And with all this information, they will now carefully handpick 10 people. Maybe they may also try to understand your, face expressions when they ask the questions, the way you are dressed up, your background. With all that, they will be picking up 10 people. Only these 10 people will be taken to the police station. These 10 people are known as potential root causes. Potential root causes. Definitely the culprit is, expected to be within that 10. Now, a lot of intelligence is required, isn't it? That's why we called the police here. Every step, if you make a mistake, you are, missing on the root cause. Then your 50 lakhs is gone. You have to be very, very careful, right? While writing down the names, you have to write all 200. Then from the 200, you have to pick up, the potentially critical ones. After once the 10 people are taken to the police station, there the level of investigation will be completely different. They would like to go with the facts, isn't it? No assumptions. You know the kind of treatment, they will be giving to find out the fact. So same will be the logic. Once the potentially critical factor or potential root causes are segregated, hereafter, every decision will be based on experiment only. That's all. No more assumption. Clear, all of you?
Yeah.
This particular step of validating the potential root causes for its criticality is known as hypothesis testing, where everything is purely based on experimental data. That's all. No more opinion, no more suggestions, no more assumptions. Everything is based on experimental data. Once the validation is done, after investigation, let us say out of the 10 people, 3 people are found to be involved in the crime. Out of 10 people, 3 are found to be involved in the crime. Remaining 7 people, they are not able to reject the null. They are allowed to, they are released now. But these 3 people, they are able to prove that, they are wrong. That means null hypothesis is rejected. What was the opinion, earlier opinion? Why we invited those 3 people? We thought they are all innocent, isn't it? Innocent friends. So we invited them. But now that belief has gone wrong. Yes or no? So null hypothesis is rejected. Now anyway, police will recover, the valuables from them and then, give it back to you. And now, how many culprits are there in our discussion? 3. What was the money lost?
50 lakhs.
Now you need to figure out whether the 50 lakh is shared equally among the 3 or unequally distributed. If it is unequally distributed, then who is the gang leader? One person, he took, the major portion, 25 lakhs. Then remaining 2, 12.5 lakhs. And now who is the major contributor? That person who took 25 lakhs. His contribution is 50%. The next person's contribution is 25%. And then another person's contribution is 25%. 50 plus 25 plus 25. Total is how much?
100%.
So now you have recovered. Suppose if the contribution is not tallying to 100%, you have still not found, few other culprits. Suppose if you are able to get back only 45 lakhs, then what happened to that remaining 5 lakhs? There may be one other culprit, which you might have missed somewhere. Either before you lock the door, somebody escaped, or police would have made a mistake. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to be extremely careful if you are concerned about fixing all the root causes. And so This is what, so in order to really see all this piece of information is, extremely helpful if you are really interested in fixing the problem, isn't it? So first you draw the fishbone diagram. Your intention is to visualize all possible factors. To visualize all possible factors. And then experts' opinion, some kind of logic you can use to select potential root causes. Right? Maybe 5 or 10. Then if once you decide to work on 10 potential root causes, then for each of the potential root cause, you should perform hypothesis testing. So based on the hypothesis testing, you may either reject the null or you may fail to reject the null. Fail to reject the null means your doubt is wrong. But if you are able to reject the null, your doubt is valid. If your doubt is valid, then you take some action. If you take the action, yes, no, definitely no, the result will come. And this is in hypothesis testing. But after hypothesis testing, what you need to do is, since in the discussion there are 3 root causes. Let us say there are 3 root causes. So how many factors? 3 factors. Now all 3 factors you must try to study simultaneously. All 3 factors you must study simultaneously. You know why? Then only you can understand their contribution. Which is contributing to the problem to a higher level. Then which is contributing next? In order to find answer for this question, what you should do? You must study all the 3 factors simultaneously. For validation, you can study them one by one. But for finding out the contribution, you must study them simultaneously. This is known as DOE. But we will not be discussing both the hypothesis testing and the DOE right now. Little later, right? Little later. But now that the tool behind the process is revealed. All right. So now the analysis is complete. Validated root causes. List of root causes are now available in your table. A list of validated root causes are available in your table. Contribution of each of the root cause is also made available in your table. Relationship of each of the root cause with your output variable is also made available. You know which has a positive relationship. You know which has a negative relationship. With all these informations available in your table, tell me, will you be able to think about the solution? Tell me. Will you be able to think about the solution now?
No.
What else you want to talk about the solution now?
So from the available solutions, we need to find out the exact one solution or the root cause.
Okay. So imagine you have a boiler, right? The boiler efficiency you want to improve. What do you want to improve?
Boiler efficiency.
Boiler efficiency. And you are doubting that the operating temperature of the boiler is the reason for poor efficiency. The operating temperature of the boiler is the reason for poor efficiency. Now, what is your null?
Operating temperature.
Operating temperature is not critical to
Efficiency.
efficiency. And what is your alternate? The operating temperature is
Critical to.
critical to efficiency. So you have decided to perform the experiment. You have decided to perform the experiment. And you very well know that the operating temperature of your boiler is 800 to 1000 degrees Celsius. 800 to 1000 degrees Celsius. So you selected randomly, certain values, 800, 900, 1000. You run the boiler at 800 degrees Celsius. You run the boiler at 800 degrees Celsius and find out the efficiency. This is 0, this is 100. And for 800 degrees Celsius, the efficiency is here. That means, it is somewhere around 85. It's not just one experiment. You performed, 3 experiments. All 3 experiments, the reading is around 85. Can you see that, all of you? And now
Yes.
what I do, I run the boiler at 900 degrees Celsius. Now the efficiency is 75%. Here it is 85. And I run the boiler at 1000 degrees Celsius. Now the efficiency is 65%. And now tell me, every single time I increase the temperature, I am noticing a drop in the boiler efficiency. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Here I did 3 experiments here. Here also I did 3 experiments. Here also I did 3 experiments. In all 3 experiments, here the efficiency is now averaging around 85. Here the efficiency is averaging around 75. Here the efficiency is averaging around 65. And now what do you think by referring to this data?
It looks like that operating
Critical-
temperature is creating issue.
critical to
Efficiency issue.
efficiency.
So null is getting rejected. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So operating temperature is, according to the data, according to the study, operating temperature is found to be critical to boiler efficiency. Now this piece of information is available in your table. Additionally, when I keep on increasing the boiler temperature, my boiler efficiency is coming down. What is this information? Relationship is
Negative.
positive or
Negative.
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 Now what will be your choice? You want to run the boiler at lower temperature or you want to run the boiler at higher temperature?
Lower temperature.
Lower.
Which is the solution? Which is the solution? And now the new guideline or new procedure of running the boiler is 800 degrees Celsius, just plus or minus 10. That's all. Nothing more than that. What was the original way of operating the boiler?
800
Can
to
you see a wider range of operation?
Yes.
Now the range of operation is reduced to 800 plus or minus 10. Somehow you have to maintain the boiler temperature 800 plus or minus 10. Now, how did we arrive on the solution? Based on the analysis, we ourselves arrived on the solution, isn't it?
Yes, sir. By
You
doing
can't
the
find out
experiment.
the solution to your problem in any of the textbook. You
By
can't
doing
find out
the
the solution
experiment, we
by
got the
talking to any
solution.
of the external expert. It has to be evolved. Maybe you involve the expert in your analysis, or you become the expert and generate the solution. Clear? So if the information about the validated root causes and the relationship of the root causes are available in your table, you can generate solution. Clear?
Yes, sir.
But to be on the safer side, you can again make use of certain tools. Now the challenge is, statistically solution is available. Boiler temperature must be reduced. Our operating range must be between 800 plus or minus 10 degrees Celsius. But how can we operate the boiler in this very smaller range? You do a brainstorming. Yes or no? You do a brainstorming. You ask your team member, ask your project champion, project sponsor, let everybody, sit in the meeting room. Again, you invite some subject matter experts. They will tell you, definitely yes or no.
Yes, sir. We have to put some sensor which will cut the
Very good.
power. if
Some
it is
electronic
beyond the limit.
controller
Yes.
or some manual control, whatever, and try to figure out which is feasible,
Yes.
which is, economical. Purpose should also be solved. At the same time, it should be cost effective,
Effective.
and some brainstorming, some kind of grading, isn't it? See, brainstorming you used in the analyze space also. I am advising you to use the same brainstorming again to generate a solution. If all of you have some good experience with the boiler field, then I can definitely involve all of you for the brainstorming session for about 1 hour, and then definitely you will throw light on the solution. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is called a solution generation technique. One of the solution generation technique is brainstorming. Another thing is another kind of solution generation technique is critical thinking. What is critical thinking? I will ask you to come up with a solution idea. How can I run the boiler but no at a very narrow range? Now you will come with some idea. You will come with some idea and then you will present your idea. If you present your idea, then on the other side, I will keep all my experts in my company to listen to you. Now all these experts will certainly challenge you with their questions. And if you could nicely handle them, give a proper reply to each and every question, then it is a kind of evidence that you have some solution. Yes or no? But if you are not able to face the questions, if you are not able to explain how your solution will work in real time, that simply means you don't have clarity in the solution, right? And this way of brainstorming is known as critical thinking. Do you understand? Now, I want to improve the training effectiveness. Classes are conducted late in the night. 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30 classes are going on, isn't it? People normally sleep by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, but now they are learning. But still, I want to improve the effectiveness. Do you have any idea to improve the effectiveness of the training program, particularly when the sessions are conducted after 9 o'clock? Come on, all of you, please speak out.
Video things we can.
Video. Now, if I play video, then I will be losing time. I will not be able to cover the syllabus. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then what is your response to that? Like yesterday, I played a movie song. You all enjoyed it, isn't it? But that is not in your syllabus. So this way of questioning the solution will test the existence of the solution. Yes or no? We call it critical thinking. You have to do this kind of brainstorming sessions, critical thinking, and if needed, you divide your group, the members of the brainstorming session into different group. All manufacturing participants, you go in a separate, breakout room. All service industry, you go in a separate breakout room. Or healthcare professional, you go in one virtual room. All food industry professional, you go in another virtual room. You discuss among yourself. This is called silent meeting. This is another way of brainstorming, isn't it? If I ask you to speak, in a common forum, and there will be a lot of hesitation, people may not speak. But when I give a private room, what will happen? They will open up. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this is known as nominal group technique. But ultimately, what is the focus? We want to generate solution. Everybody can throw light. Everybody can give suggestion. But the way we conduct the brainstorming session, we name it differently. A normal brainstorming, structured or unstructured, and then critical thinking, and then nominal group technique. And now so many ideas have come to me. Now I just have to shortlist, because I can only implement one solution, not all solutions. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I can implement only the viable ones. And again, to find out the really viable solutions, what I can do is I can use another technique known as multi-voting. How many of you appreciate the idea given by Ashim? He says, you play video after 9 o'clock. You play a nice movie clip for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and everybody will be actively participating in your program. How many of you support this idea? But make sure the video is related to the subject.
Yes, sir. That should
Make sure the video is related to the subject. And now people can vote. If many people, vote for this idea, then this idea will qualify as part of your solution. Yes or no?
Yeah.
But if people are not really willing to accept the idea, then in that case, probably you may have to drop it. Yes or no? So this is how you need to gain the consensus of the team. You are systematic on one side. At the same time, you are allowing everyone to involve in the solution generation process. Do you see that? So the acceptance of the solution, will be easier. Everybody will own the project because they get a feel of, involved in the solution generation. And so they will not show much resistance when you actually try to implement the solution. Right? So in that way, you also become a kind of change agent in your company. But before implementing a solution in a full scale, always it is a good idea to implement the solution in a smaller scale. Right? First, include videos just for 2 minutes, 3 minutes and see how it helps. And everybody, suddenly wakes up once we play a video. So we realize, yes, it is really, giving a meaningful result. So let's amplify. Now you go for a full scale implementation. Now there is no trainer, only video. All right. So all the videos are made available in a way that, people love to watch it. At the same time, learn from it. And the trainer is available only to clarify the doubts. That's all. I'm sure you will see such a scenario happening, in the upcoming sessions, training sessions. So we need to develop such videos. So his idea is really, really wonderful. Yes or no?
Yeah.
It will be an error-free session because it's already recorded, all executed well. Absolutely, there is no chance of manual error now. Isn't it? It's created like a movie. Every session is created like a movie with all audio, video, some dancing, some fights, and some jokes, all that brought inside. And now learning happens like enjoying a fantastic movie. So this is how the improve phase should go on. What are the steps in the improve phase? Generate solution. First step in the improve phase is generate solution. And then the next step, validate the solution. Generate solution, then validate the solution. Then you go for, generate solution and then evaluate solution. Generate solution and then evaluate solution. Then go for pilot implementation. Then you go for full scale implementation. Then finally validate the solution. Though I have raised 5 fingers, there are only 3 steps. I'll tell you. Generate and evaluate solution. That is step number 10. Generate and evaluate solution. Then step number 11. Pilot and implement the solution. That is step number 11. Then finally, the last step in improve phase is validate the solution. Clear, all of you? Now I will show you my slides. And why should we pilot? Can somebody throw some light? Why should we do piloting?
To check whether the solution is
The right direction.
inform whether the solution is correct.
Correct. Because sometimes solution once implemented
Yes,
cannot be
of the
reversed.
And,
Solution sometimes once implemented cannot be reversed. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sometimes
Sir, first
solution
of
is
all-
costlier.
Sir, first of
Hi.
all, we have to try this with a smaller quantity or smaller things. Then we have to implement in a bigger portion. Whether it is
Exactly,
working or not.
exactly. That is what we call it, piloting.
Yes.
See, whatever you have understood so far, you conducted experiment, etc., etc. I agree. But still, it's all, to certain extent, it is theoretical. To certain extent, it is
Correct.
theoretical. So you go to you create a real scenario, simulate the real conditions, and implement your solution in a smaller scale. That is known as piloting. Now the challenges you may face during the implementation are now getting visualized. Yes or no? So you can be prepared enough. You can adjust your solution after performing the pilot study. Am I correct? So your full scale implementation can happen very smoothly. So once that is done, one solution is implemented, one more time you have to perform hypothesis testing. Whether the conditions have changed after the implementation of the solution or not. That is the doubt of your management right now. Yes or no?
Yes.
Whenever
Yes.
you are in doubt, the tool recommended is hypothesis testing. What is the null hypothesis now? The improvement is not because of the project. This is null hypothesis. The improvement is whatever difference we notice in the data is not because of the project, or whatever improvement we see is not because of the project. It is because of something else. That is null. An alternate is the improvement is because of the changes we have made. And now the same manner you have to do. And we collect data. Very simple. We just collect data. And then based on the difference in the readings, based on the difference in the statistics, you will be able to judge whether null should be rejected or retained. If you fail to reject the null, that means you cannot claim the credit. If you are able to reject the null, then you can claim that the improvement is because of your project. So again, hypothesis testing can come and help you in the solution validation. That will also be the end of improve phase, right? Now we will see all those important steps in my slides. I'll quickly take you through. So improve phase, toll gate review, and then improve phase steps and deliverable, and the tools and techniques recommended for improve phase. See here, the sponsor would be interested in asking this kind of questions at the end of the improve phase. How did you generate the possible solution? What are the tools you have used? Right? And then what tools were used to tap the creativity and encourage the out-of-box thinking of the project team members? You remember critical thinking, nominal group technique, and all those tools, I suggested. So maybe some other tools also you can use. 6-yard thinking and other things. And what tools were used to evaluate potential solution? One such tool is multi-voting. There are other tools. But some kind of ranking has to be given. We call it Pug matrix, and many other tools. And what lessons were learned from the piloting? After doing the pilot study, what lessons you learned? How did you incorporate those lessons before going for the full-scale implementation? You should be ready for all these questions. Yes or no? Obviously expected. Any top management would be expected, would be interested in asking this question. How does the solution remove the root causes? Good question. Root causes of the variation, root causes of the waste. Like, in our example, we reduced the operating range of the boiler. And the solution is, an electronic control. An automatic control system based on some kind of sensor or something. So whenever the temperature goes above 810 degrees Celsius, immediately, it will trigger a signal and then the temperature will start moving backwards. Something like that, right? No? So this is how the solution is generated. So generate the solution and also evaluate them. And then select the best one out of it. And if possible, further optimize your solution. Then you pilot, implement, and then you validate. Clear all of you? The improve phase steps. And finally, the deliverable is implemented solution. Solution is implemented. Right? So the solution, selected solution, and then it is implemented. So these are the tools: benchmarking, creative thinking, nominal group technique, multi-voting. If you have to perform some experiment, go for DOE. If some softwares are available, go for simulation. Then pilot plan, full-scale implementation, failure mode effect analysis, FMEA. FMEA can be a tool to validate your solution, and we will be discussing in detail about the FMEA little later. Okay. So what is benchmarking? Do you know? What is benchmarking?
Compare ourselves with the industrial experts.
Yes. You can copy a similar, solution from some of the best performing organization. A similar problem, somebody, could have solved it. There can be a more or less, perfect matching. So nothing wrong in studying their best practices and then implementing it in your organization as part of your solution, which is known as benchmarking. Copying the best practices is known as benchmarking. So, all right. What is this space?
Improve.
This space is known as improve phase.
Improve phase.
So, what are the
Improve phase.
steps? What are the steps here?
Generate solution,
Solution, validate,
evaluate solution, select and optimize out of the
pilot implementation.
Pilot implementation.
pilot implementation
Full
Validate the solution.
and
Pilot,
validate the
implement,
solution.
pilot,
Full-scale
implement, and validate.
And validate.
And what are all the tools you can explore here?
voting,
Benchmarking, critical thinking,
Benchmarking,
Multi-voting.
critical
Multi-group thinking,
Nominal
multi-voting,
group
brainstorming,
Nominal-
nominal group technique,
Multi-voting.
simultaneously,
Multi-voting.
simultaneously implementation.
and then
Simulation, DOE.
if needed DOE, if needed DOE, DOE is again a tool advanced than your hypothesis testing. It can throw better light, but it is it will definitely require more effort, and then sometimes it will be costlier also. And tools like FMEA can be used for analyzing the risk also. We'll be dealing with it little later. So any questions to me on improve phase?
So, sir, brainstorming and a critical thinking both are the same or different?
Critical thinking is a type of brainstorming.
This is a part of brainstorming.
Yeah. Whenever you involve multiple brains, it's a brainstorming. Now the training session is also a brainstorming session. All of you are sharing your ideas, isn't it? It's a brainstorming session. Yeah. Because always two brains can think better than single brain. Isn't it? So nothing wrong in seeking for ideas, seeking for informations from the people involved. Nothing, it's actually a good idea. Any other question?
Sir, one more reason for this pilot implementation may be while taking the corrective action, we should be very careful that it should not create other problems. We are solving one problem, but while taking the corrective action, that may create one more problem. So we have to do it pilot study and look for other variables as well.
Yeah. So the challenges, any challenges, because during the implementation can be understood. By solving a problem, we should not invite a brand new problem. That's your concept, isn't it? So we solve one problem, but then we invite two other problems. So the situation is worse than earlier. So that shouldn't be the case. Yes, your idea is correct. You can use the thing. And to avoid that, you can also perform risk analysis. what was the risk level earlier and what is the risk level now. And that way you can validate your solution.
FMEA.
Yeah, correct, FMEA. Okay. So shall we move on to the next part,
Yes.
the last part for the yellow belts? What is the last phase of the Six Sigma project here? Define, measure, analyze, improve,
Control.
control. Now, what is our objective here? We need to sustain the solution. We need to sustain the solution. And how can we sustain the solution? By developing a proper control plan. Like the doctors, while discharging the patients, they used to give, a list of advice. Yes or no? After the treatment, the patient is really good, so he can be discharged. But now the doctors will give some important advices. No more spicy food and no more food from outside. No more consumption of alcohols and all of these things, you should avoid. That means, they are trying to bring some meaningful changes in your lifestyle. Yes or no?
Yeah.
And you
Yes.
must accept those changes in the lifestyle. And then the doctor would like to monitor it. They'll ask you to come for, weekly once for the next 3 months. You understand? Weekly once, you have to come to the hospital for next 3 months. If you maintain for 3 months, then thereafter, they'll leave you just like that, because it will become your part and, part of your lifestyle. So this is known as a control plan. Now, based on the lessons learned, based on the new solution, your process is now modified. Yes or no? Now it is a new process. And so new SOP. And now people have to follow the new SOP. So what will happen? The solution can be sustained for a longer period of time. So control chart is a very, very powerful tool if you are talking about, statistical control. So let me take you through the control phase. All right. So let us go through the control phase. So control phase, toll gate review questions. Then the control phase steps and deliverables. The important deliverable will be control plan. Important deliverable will be a control plan. And then the control phase tools. Now the toll gate review question. Is there a control plan in place for this project? What are the X variables we are going to monitor on a daily basis? That is the, plan. What are the X variables we are going to monitor on a daily basis? If we monitor and control certain critical X factors on a daily basis, you know what will happen? My Y factor will always remain within the limits. No problem at all. How will input, process, and output variables be checked to detect suboptimal condition? You know the limits for your input variables, limits for your output variable. If they exceed beyond the limit, they are known as suboptimal conditions. If suboptimal conditions happens in your process, how your system will detect it? Do you remain on, the human people's ability to detect it, or have you developed, incorporated something as part of your system, right? So that's the thing. How will a new customer requirement be communicated to orient the process towards meeting the new specification? Suppose suddenly in between, if a customer changes his requirement or he communicates a new requirement, how your process will, adjust to it? Are control charts being used? If no, why are they not used? Right? Very, very important tool, control chart, to have an effective control plan. And what key inputs and outputs are being measured? So these are some sample questions. There can be few other questions. Definitely you can expect these kind of questions in the control phase tollgate review. So implement the control system for critical X. Implement the control system for critical X. Suppose if you have to, avoid the spicy, spicy food for the next, maybe rest of your life. What will be your control system to avoid the spicy food? You have to consume only homemade
Boiled
food.
food.
Never take food from outside, isn't it? Now this is the kind of control system we have. Same manner, we need to think for our process also. And then you have to document the solution and the benefits, the lessons learned, and everything must be documented. And finally, hand over the process back to the process owner. And once the project is over, you can hand over the process back to the process owner. The main deliverable is control plan. Now the tools. X-bar R chart, control chart test, control plan, Poka-Yoke. What is Poka-Yoke? It's a lean tool. Mistake proofing, error proofing. Then you document the solution, lessons learned, the cost benefit analysis, and hand over the process back to the process owner, and then declare project closure. So project handover document and project closure document, you have to prepare and then file it. So you know what is Poka-Yoke?
Mistake proof.
It's a Japanese word meaning mistake proof. So there are three types of Poka-Yoke exist. Like here, there is an improvement in the design. Which design is better here? This one is A, this one is B. A is better or B is better?
B is better.
B is better. Because the orientation of the, what you call the burner and the knob are same here. But whereas here, you might, end up choosing the wrong burner, and then, you might waste, the, what you call the fuel or the gas. So here, the next one. Here, what is the Poka-Yoke here? The first drilling machine, there is no stopper. Now the operator can drill excessively. There is a chance. But here, what we did is, can you see a stopper here added? So if the drill bit penetrates the required depth, further the stopper will not allow the drilling operator to feed the drill bit further. Can you see a Poka-Yoke here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is next level of Poka-Yoke. In addition to the stopper, some kind of buzzer is also included. What is the idea here? We are trying to prevent the mistakes. We are trying to prevent the mistakes. These are some other examples of Poka-Yoke. We keep on searching for the cables earlier, isn't it? And now adding these kind of names can solve your problem. There are three types of Poka-Yoke: shutdown Poka-Yoke, control Poka-Yoke, and then warning Poka-Yoke. You know what is shutdown Poka-Yoke? Suppose if a machine is running and suddenly if somebody, open the shutter in the machine, then you know what will happen? The complete machine will shut down automatically. Why that feature is incorporated? Otherwise, it might lead
prevent
to
the accident.
unnecessary accidents, isn't it?
To prevent the
Yeah,
accident.
so that is a kind of shutdown Poka-Yoke. Can you give some other example for shutdown Poka-Yoke? Have you noticed
Leave-
your laptop shutting down automatically? Sometimes your laptop, will shut down automatically if you don't even, sometimes look at the battery level, then your laptop will automatically shut down. Because there is a feature incorporated. Whenever the battery percentage is, let's say, less than 10%, then automatically it will shut down. So that at least you can charge it and then again start your laptop, isn't it? Otherwise, your battery might,
Drain.
permanently fail. So to avoid that, sometimes in ATM, if you put the PIN number repeatedly wrong more than 3 times, you know what will happen?
Block.
Why that feature is given? To prevent misuse of the cards. That is another example of shutdown POK, isn't it? Service is completely shut after that. So certain features can help you or help you to prevent the failures, and they are known as POK. And one type of POK what we right now discussed is shutdown POK. And another POK is control POK. What is control POK? So the process will not allow the mistake to proceed to the next level. Will not allow the mistake to proceed to the next level. Say, for example, you are inside your car and your car door is not locked properly. Now the car will not allow you to start the engine. Have you noticed this kind of features nowadays?
Yes, yes.
Door is not closed, and so the
Yes, sir.
car is not allowing you to start.
Seat belt
Only
is
after you close the door properly, the car will start. So this is a
Seat
kind
belt.
of
in case of seat belt also. This is happening nowadays.
nowadays. Earlier, seat belt only, some buzzer was given.
Yeah.
If you don't put the seat belt, some kind of, mess, audio will come. Put the seat belt. Some buzzer will come. And if only the buzzer or light is glowing, then it is a kind of warning POK. But if it is not allowing you to start the car, then it is
Control.
control POK. If the system completely shuts down, then it is shutdown POK. And now tell me, what is this POK?
Warning POK.
Only light is glowing, right? Based on the light, they have to take the action. But here,
Gate.
Gate
it's
close.
gate. So what kind of POK it is?
Control POK.
Control POK.
Very good. So here also there is a kind of improvement in the design. You can see that here there is no drain hole, but whereas here,
Drain.
so already the provision for draining is available here. But over and above, additional drain hole is given, isn't it? So this is just to prevent overflow of the water, right? In case of blockage, isn't it?
Yes.
So small design improvements can also be considered a POK. Here, what is the POK here?
Screw adjustment.
Yeah. See here, your screwdriver can perfectly fit into this slot here. So as a result, the slipping of the screwdriver and then minor accidents can be prevented. That way it is considered a POK, right? You can also call it, small kaizens or small improvements. So proceeding further, documenting the solution. Why should we document the solution? Solution must be documented for review and application in other process in the organization. Yes or no? Sometimes horizontal
Yes.
deployment is possible.
Right.
So properly documenting the solution will be definitely helpful. And it also acts as the lessons learned for other green belts and other project team members. So of course, replication is nothing but horizontal deployment. Standardization is nothing but, just keeping the lessons and available in the form of the document. So that wherever, similar knowledge is required, somebody can refer to it and then customize and apply. That is replication and then standardization. And project benefits. the total cost of the project, the total benefits accrued from the project, and so you can calculate cost benefit ratio, right? And cost benefit, if your numerator is cost and denominator is benefit, then it should be less than 1. If your numerator is benefit and denominator is cost, then it should be more than 1. I hope all of you agree with me on this. So some kind of cost benefit analysis, you can have a separate Excel to show all your, the cost involved in the project and the benefits achieved through the project. And then you will be able to give the summary here in the form of a cost benefit analysis. And now everything is done. Now is the time to transfer the responsibilities, because you as a green belt or a black belt, you will keep on working on other improvement projects. So you have to hand over the process back to the process owner. And so you have to transfer the responsibility. That may include all this piece of information: process control plan, review meetings, updated flowcharts, SPC measures, including the control plan. And if any out of control scenario happens, and how they should react, what will be the response plan, how they should actually select samples for monitoring the process, and all the knowledge you gained as part of the project, you should now try to transfer it systematically, right, in the form of documents. And that is known as the effective control plan. And now you can declare the project closure officially by signing this document, project name, and then handover document. And why are you closing the project? Because the project is successfully completed, or for some other reason are you closing the project in between. I mean, sometimes you may have to kill certain projects because of poor progress or something. Or in most of the cases, if it is successful, we'll state the success and then announce the project closure and then celebrate the success. So this is a kind of project closure document. And before you wind up, and you can, the management can devise certain rewards to the project team, because to celebrate their achievements. And as a team, you can also consider evaluating how you worked together as part of the project, and how did you overcome all the struggles, and the learnings can be documented. So recognizing the work done by the project team, by the management, and then celebrating the project outcomes, celebration of a successful Six Sigma or project outcome will drive the excellence philosophy within the organization, and hence managing the change becomes easier, isn't it? So that everybody will be motivated. If the team is celebrating the success, if they are given some additional recognition, some additional perks because of the project they have done, then others will also be motivated to do. So creating a continual improvement culture will become much simpler if this kind of encouragements are made available. So this is how normally the project flow will be. So I would like to conclude our discussion here. But if there are any specific questions, feel free to ask. Any questions? All good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So then congratulations all of you for successfully completing, the LOL modules. However, we will be continuing the learning process, and we will be deep diving in every phase 2 more times. Right? And the second time, your color will change from yellow to green.
Green.
And
Green.
again, one more time, third time, we will be revisiting the define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And that's how you will become a black belt, right? So the journey is going to be, quite long. So those of you who are interested, yes, if you really wanted to upgrade, just contact your coordinators, and then you can travel with us. But having gained so much knowledge right now, in a short span of time, you can capitalize on that by upgrading at the right time. If you come after 3 months, and again, we'll be starting everything from the scratch. Because we know people have the tendency to, forget things, isn't it? So the capitalizing on the basics learned is right now in your hand. So make the right decision. Okay, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions, any thoughts? Anybody would like to share anything, or you want on any yellow bells you would like to speak for a minute? Please, you can come on the video and then speak. All of us are, interested in hearing to you.
In our company, we've been dealing with the Ishikawa drawing or the cause and effect analysis and the YY analysis. But there are like certain other steps which needs to be dived deep into. These things it was like quite new to us, and it is great it's a great learning. Thank you.
Yeah, fishbone diagram is not the end of the analysis phase. It's just the beginning. You're only listing the possible causes, but then you need to proceed to the potential root causes and then validate them and then finally declare them as critical. And then you move on to the improve phase. So yes, but then we will also deep dive further in the upcoming sessions. Don't worry. Everything will be made very, very clear. But definitely the basics are needed to talk about the next levels. Okay. Abhias, you are part of a green belt, yellow belt, or which batch? Black belt.
Black belt. Black
Very
belt.
good. Okay. So how about others? Any yellow belt? I would like to see the yellow belt speaking now.
Yes, sir, I am a yellow belt.
Please go ahead. I want to hear you speaking about your experience.
Sir, I had experiences in pharmaceutical and the quality control and heading the department in certain projects, wherein certain drugs which are there, where the pilot studies have a specific strategy with respect to the raw materials, API, then standardizing and validation of that product as well as their methodology of experimenting things. And the very first lecture that I heard you and yesterday when you explained more about the repeatability error and the reproducibility error, one such experience which I had in the initial years was the wrong type of pipetting. The technique used by one person differed from the other person. And when the same sample went from one company to two different labs, okay? And later on, when several studies were conducted of that same sample, that batch which was running, it was identified that one of the pipettes which was there was not calibrated properly. So that's how the root cause analysis was going on. Of course, that time when I did not have the specific terminologies, how they are used now. And today's session gave a lot of insights with respect to the definitions that in the first session what sir explained, about the brainstorming or why analysis or how the fishbone technique, where to use that null hypothesis. And of course, when you have started this, I wish I again listen to this recording, repeat this thing.
It will be provided.
Try to inculcate that. And of course, this whole process, I feel I took that right opportunity, this time, the last Saturday to Sunday and this Saturday to Sunday, and hope it will be fruitful further. Since I don't have much more time the next Saturday, Sunday, that's why I'm not continuing with the green belt. Otherwise, I would have definitely, escalated my level up.
Can
But
come
thank
back
you very
whenever.
much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome. All right. Any other? You are interested in speaking out something? Oh, Uma Megeshwari, you want to go? You want to speak?
Yes, sir.
All.
Sir, this is Mahesh.
Yes, Mr. Magesh. Yeah.
Sir, I am working in quality assurance department in pharmaceutical industry.
Okay.
Yes, I have to very use in control charge evaluation during work location and investigation procedures also, brainstorming and fishbone and control charts, and these are very useful for regular activities also. And sir, I have some small doubt from control charts evolution.
Oh, yes.
So during
I'll,
3
I'll try to
sigma
answer.
and
Go ahead.
during 3 sigma and 6 sigma calculation, average minus 3 standard deviation, average plus 3 standard deviation is considered for upper and lower control limits evaluation.
Correct. Average
Bo-
plus or minus 3 standard deviation are known as the control limit. Plus 3 standard deviation will be upper control limit. Minus 3 standard deviation will be lower control limit. You are right.
So these control limits are used for same 3 sigma, 6 sigma. Both are applicable for same calculation.
See, control limits formula is center value plus 3 times standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
3 standard deviation away from the center or the control limits.
Okay,
You
sir.
have different control charts, X bar R chart, X bar S chart, IMR chart, P chart, C chart, U chart, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Depending on the data type you have. But then always
Okay.
see the general understanding is center value plus or minus 3 standard deviation will lead to control limit. This is the general understanding. But while plotting control limits, we don't go by this method.
Yes, sir.
While plotting control chart, we don't go by this method. Rather, some statistical formulas are developed. You know
Yes, sir.
why? Because you have some limitation with respect to the data.
Yes, sir.
You might have lesser number of data, isn't it? So with just
Yes, sir.
5 data, 10 data, calculating standard deviation, sometimes may not be correct.
Yes.
So they have developed the formula. These formulas will take you through some other route, but finally land you in the required destination. What
Yes,
is the
sir.
required destination? Finding out the control limit.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? So there are different routes to reach to the same destination. So these formulas are used and they are found to be more effective, particularly when you are dealing with fewer number of samples. Normally in a control chart, we deal with sample size somewhere varying from 2 to 25. So, but it is better to use the formulas. But however, the theory is center plus or minus 3 standard deviation. Clear?
Yes, sir. Please. Next, one more, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, last week session, I will verify in Excel sheet for standard deviation formula.
Hmm.
Okay, two numbers are available, sir. One is population, one is sample.
Correct.
But I verified some number of data.
Hmm.
Population, standard population is minimum result obtained, and the sample result is some of the variation observed greater than population result, which is the
Correct.
correct and which is used for the better control.
See, why the difference is coming, because of the denominator of the formula in the standard deviation. What is the formula for standard deviation? Square root of
Square root
summation
of
of
n
x minus
x
x bar the
bar
whole square divided by n minus 1.
n minus 1.
If I use n minus 1, then it is sample standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
If I use n, then it will be standard deviation for population.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So for population, denominator is n. For
Okay, sir.
sample, denominator is n minus 1. If my denominator becomes smaller, sample standard deviation will become little bigger.
Yes, sir.
That is your
Yes, sir.
point.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. But which is the better for using control limits evaluation?
See, please note, we are by all means, we are trying to understand the population only. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So, but unfortunately, we only have samples in our hand. So with the help of the sample standard deviation, you are estimating the population standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
That is why I told you, statisticians have developed certain methods. They created the formulas. You don't have to reinvent anything. Just use the formulas given by them.
Yes, sir.
Those formulas will make use of the sample data. still will take you close to the control limits of your population.
Yes, sir.
That is the idea.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic questions, but then we have to deep dive into control charts. Then taking these questions will become much easier.
Sir, one
All
more,
right.
sir.
One
Sir,
more.
one more.
Yes.
Sir, during statistical evaluation, 3 sigma, 6 sigma, how many batches required for?
Come again. Come again.
During statistical evaluation, 3 sigma, 6 sigma, how many samples required for evaluation of statistical evaluation?
Okay. For calculation of anything, sample size, before deciding the sample size, I think yesterday itself I told you. First, you should decide on the sample collection period. Don't straight away jump to sample size.
Okay, sir.
Data collection period. Can you decide on the data collection period?
1 year, sir.
1 year. 1 year is a sufficient period, very long period. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then data collection frequency. Every single day you collect data?
No, sir. Entire total year.
See, total 1 year is fine. 1 year, do you have the complete population data?
Yes, sir. Collected, but calculated only end of the year only.
See, if you have data, then what is stopping you from calculating, doing your calculation with all the data? If you have the complete population data, then why do you need a sample?
Sir, one example, sir. Sir, during every batch analysis will be completed, and the total number of batches samples shall be collected at the end of the year, and the calculation shall be performed for statistical evaluation only during end of the year.
No, what kind of evaluation you are doing? Actually, we need to understand everything, clearly before answering, because there is no answer to a generic question, but there will be answer to a specific question.
Okay.
What kind of evaluation you do? Are you calculating CPCPK or are
Yes,
you
sir.
doing some kind of other analysis?
CPK.
CPCPK means, CPCPK is always, calculated using sample data.
Yes, sir.
So, in order to make an assessment of your CPCPK, how many days you collect the sample? See, you can't say, I have 1 year data. No.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, 1 week or 15 days or 30 days, whatever. And then if you say I have collected 1 week data, then have you collected every single day and then every single shift? That information is also very important. Once these information are available, data collection period and data collection frequency, then comes the question of sample size.
Okay.
If your data collection period is sufficient, data collection frequency is sufficient, then sample size can be, any number between 2 to 25.
Okay, sir.
Sample size can be any number between 2 to 25. But if your sampling frequency is very, very poor and data collection period is also not sufficient, then in that case, you may have to work with large sample. Maybe
Yes,
you
sir.
should be on the higher side, not on the
Yes, sir.
lower side.
Yes, sir.
All your questions are fantastic questions, but I want you to definitely go through the advanced levels so that lot of clarity will automatically evolve, and you yourself will be able to find answer to all the questions you asked, because a lot of understanding, knowledge have to be developed to find out the answer for all your questions. So I really appreciate your questions. Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Uma Magesh. So all the very best to all of you, and hoping to see you again in the next session next week. So wish you the best. Good luck in everything you are doing. And we will be sharing certain review links in our WhatsApp group. Please take out few minutes to write a review and then rating to our training services what we are giving. So also we request you to refer your friends, colleagues to our programs. We conduct a lot of programs every month, both evening batch as well as regular batch, 9:30 to 5, online mode, as well as classroom mode in Chennai. We also wanted to conduct classroom sessions in other cities like Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and etc. etc. If some of you are interested in collaborating with us, helping us, and please do let us know. And we really need somebody to help us, coordinate our training programs in other cities. So we would love to collaborate with you if you are interested. Thank you very
Sir,
much.
Vizag available, sir.
Sir, one last
Sir,
request.
Vizag location is available, sir.
Why?
Vizag location is available, sir.
Yeah,
Offline
yeah.
training mode.
No, we are planning to conduct the offline sessions in other cities as well. Right now, we are doing it only in Chennai. We are running houseful batches every time we conduct a classroom session. But then to conduct in Vizag or conduct in Delhi, Hyderabad, and Bangalore and other places, we are looking for certain coordinators, right? Maybe we'll have a kind of business model, and then we conduct the programs. If you are interested, do let us know. We'll conduct programs in Vizag city also, but you will be the coordinator.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. No problem, sir. I will
One
conduct
last
it, sir.
request. Actually, the video recording we did not receive yesterday. For example, yesterday session was little technical. I mean the gauge R&R and all. So if we could get the what do you say, the recording on time, we could have mapped that while revising the study
Okay,
while
okay.
in the time of revision. So if I can help, we can
Sure,
help on
sure.
that.
Definitely. It will be posted tomorrow. Don't worry.
Thank you so
It
much.
will be
And also
posted tomorrow, and
the
then it will be available for at least one full year. You can visit anytime.
Sir, any
And
kind
also
of
the study
PDF or
material.
handouts, like in details we can read it out. Will it be
What do you want?
provided?
Some handouts.
Handouts or PDFs, maybe means in
Okay,
details we
these
can
slide
read.
materials are shared already. Have you not received?
Sir, it has been received only for till the defined phase, not for
Oh,
the
really?
other phases. Yes, class 1 module that we received. For the other phases, we need.
See, it should have been emailed to all of you. Number one, it will be shared anyway. Don't worry. And another thing is, we have shared a link in the WhatsApp group itself where you can download the complete material. At least any one of you, have you downloaded the complete material?
Yeah, I have
From
downloaded,
the
sir. That's
app,
what
right?
in that.
Sir,
No. In the what we are telling is correct. Initially, we give only the first module because
Yep.
you are still the enrollment was incomplete. But as soon as
Okay.
your enrollment is complete, yes, the complete material will be emailed along with the password.
Yeah, we got it in WhatsApp.
Very good. So
I
maybe
got it.
you can check. Otherwise, you
Okay, I'll check.
just ask your coordinator to send it
Yep.
to your mail ID. They'll resend it.
Okay.
Don't worry,
Okay.
it will be shared. We are ready to share all the materials.
Thank you.
sir, this is the last
Okay,
session
all
for
of you.
yellow belts.
Yes,
This is
exam, right?
last session for yellow belt.
I'm not getting you. Last?
Sir, this is
Last
last
session,
session
yes.
for yellow belt.
This is the last session for yellow belt, and next Saturday you will be having an exam, and then the certificates will come within 30 days after the exam.
Sir,
Sir,
how would
exam
be the
guidance will be
model
taken
for
from
the exam?
coordinates.
There will be 25 questions, multiple choice questions, open book exam. And then all questions, will be based from the training sessions only. I'm very, very sure you will score very high marks.
Okay, sir.
All right.
And the timing would be the same as the batch timing?
Yeah, 4 o'clock, Saturday, 4 o'clock, the exam link will be shared through email. And anytime after 4 o'clock, you can write the exam. Once you start the exam, the duration will be 45 minutes. 30 minutes, 30 minutes. The duration will be 30 minutes. Sorry, correct, I'm right, 45 minutes. The duration will be 45 minutes, and you should be in a position to write the exam. I mean, give the exam continuously for 45 minutes. Then you start the exam and then finish it. Suppose you don't want to start 4 o'clock, you can start at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, anytime on Saturday or even on Sunday. 2 days time, the link will be live, and then, it will expire. by end of Sunday. You get the point?
Yes, sir.
You just need 45
Sorry.
minutes to do your exam. It's an open book exam.
Sir, any mock test available, sir?
Yeah, it is available. I'll post it in the group.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can do it.
Sir, what is the
All right.
cutoff for that examination?
Come again, sir.
What is the cutoff eligible marks for this
60%.
examination?
60%.
60,000. Okay, sir.
Don't worry, you will score 90% and above. You are one of the extraordinary yellow belt in the market now. Don't worry. You will do very well. All right. All the very best. Good night, all of you. See you. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.